Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're going to be reviewing this really awesome RC Batmobile from the Justice League movie. Now, the story behind this is Mattel contacted me. They said, hey, we have this product coming out. Would you like one? Not in those words exactly, but that was essentially the gist of it. And I said, yes, please, thank you very much. They didn't tell me I even had to review it, so just so you know, nothing I'm saying is sponsored by them in any way, just the product was sent by them. You guys need to know that officially, and just because I like to keep everything transparent. Everything I'm saying is strictly from my perspective, not from them, just so you guys are aware. That's how it's going to be. Anyway, this thing is absolutely fantastic. It's an RC car. It's controlled by your phone, actually, and it's not technically radio, but still, it's pretty cool. And it's humongous. So this is going to be kind of a weird review. I'm going to be cutting to a lot of photos and things because it's very heavy. It's 22 inches long, a little bit more actually, and it's just massive. So the first important thing I want to talk about is the fact that it comes with a Batman figure, a 1/12 scale DC Multiverse Batman figure. So let's go ahead and take that out, and you guys can take a look at that first. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is basically the exact same figure that I looked at not that long ago. It's the Tech Batman. It doesn't have anywhere near as much paint as the regular release, but as far as I can tell, it's the same figure, maybe made with softer plastic, and that's so that you can get him to fit in the Batmobile a little bit better. He has a different cape so that he fits a little bit better, but it is your standard DC Multiverse Batman. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, though, because you guys have already seen it, and the Batmobile is really the important thing here. But do know he does fit in it. He can actually hold the shifter and the steering wheel properly, and it's pretty fantastic. It is an RC car, so let's talk about those things a little bit. Of course, it comes with its own battery and charger. It's a 9.9 volt battery. It charges in about a half hour. Here's the cool thing. It's a lithium-ion battery, which is the good kind of rechargeable battery, so it'll work very nicely until it dies, and when it dies, it's pretty much dead right away, so you have to charge it, but it only charges in a half hour, and it does last quite a while. Of course, it depends on how you're using it as far as how long it's going to last, but that's okay. And then the other thing it comes with is this little bottle of liquid awesome, which is not an uncommon thing if you're familiar with like certain RC cars or trains or things like that. Trains aren't RC. What are those called? I don't know what they're called. Anyway, it's a solution where you put it in the back of the vehicle, and then you can actually make exhaust come out of the vehicle. It's not actually exhaust, but it looks just like it, and that's pretty awesome. And I'll get to that in a minute, but those are the things it comes with. So we have the figure, the battery and charger, and the super awesome liquid that you put in the back. Alright guys, so I'm going to kind of run through what features this thing has before I actually do them, because it's very noisy and there's lots of stuff going on. So I'm going to show you everything a little bit now, and then once the noise comes on and I have to talk over the sound of the car and everything, then you guys will be able to figure it out a little bit better. So the first thing is obviously the cockpit opens up, and I've already removed Batman, but he fits in there. He can grab the steering wheel, which does actually rotate with the wheels. So when these turn, you can see the steering wheel rotates with it. So these two guns up front, the missiles up front, the wheels, and the steering wheel all actually rotate with the wheels. So that's really, really nice feature. The entire cockpit does light up. I'll show you photos of that. And of course, Batman fits in here, and then the camera is right above him. The camera is shooting out from right there. Let me focus the camera over there. So the camera shoots out right there, and it'll shoot over his shoulder. And if you have the cockpit down, it still works. I mean, it's made to work that way, so it'll... Oh, I didn't put it in right. So it'll shoot through the windshield, and you can see the different bars and things, and it's a really cool feature, and I'll try to show that to you, but that obviously comes through on your phone, and my phone's a potato, so we'll see how that works. So these guys rotate. These guys also spin. I can't show you them spinning right now. You'll see that once we do it, but everything rotates up front with the wheels. This cannon will go up and down using the app, and they all fire, so to speak. They make sound, and they have effects on the app. So like if you're looking through the camera on the app, you'll see these missiles firing, like kind of like an augmented reality type thing. You'll see these guns firing, and you'll see this gun firing. They don't actually fire or do anything, but that's still pretty cool. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close the cockpit. And this does come off. If you want to recreate the scene where there's no cockpit on there, you can do that. Or if you just want to have a better view of the camera, you can do that. And then in the back, there's kind of a feature right here, which you can't really see, but the whole car lifts up in the middle for off-road mode, so it kind of comes up to like an arch. So these wheels kind of drop down and it's higher up. And you can use that outside if you want to clear the ground a little better, but I really wouldn't recommend you take this thing outside, to be completely honest. It's awesome, it can do it, but you probably don't want to get it all beat up and dirty. And so then also back here we have our little fill spot for the smoke liquid, and then you have the exhaust right here, which will light up, and when you turn on the smoke, it actually comes out just like exhaust. It looks freaking awesome. It's so cool, so very cool. And then while you're here, you can see a little bit more. There's dry brushing throughout, a little bit of coloration and detail. Lots of detail, just kind of scattered around. It's a very big thing, and there's lots of kind of just flat spots without detail, but a lot of it does have it. Like you can see these things here, this whole area is painted. There's lots of little decals all throughout. You can see up here on the vents, there's another one there. There's actually another one back here. And then the guns themselves have a fair amount of detail on them. Let's see if we can move it around a little bit. This thing's just so massive and heavy to move around. So you can see there's a couple different shades of paint on there, some more vinyl, or not vinyl, some more decals. We're not making a tuner. We don't have vinyl on this car. And then the front has a lot of detail as well. You can see both in the missile pods up here, and then there's lots of dry brushing, and it's just a pretty awesome looking thing all around. There's different colored panels, like this panel up here is a different color. It's just very, very cool looking. Very pleased with it. And I'll go ahead and show you the cockpit now. And I will be doing photos so you guys can see this stuff a little bit better as we go. But let me go ahead and open this up so you guys can see inside. Move the camera a little bit. So yeah, I know it's kind of dark right now, but I'll show you how it looks when it's lit up, and just so you can see it a little bit better. But he can grab the shifter. Hopefully you guys... you can kind of see there's a shifter in there. He can grab the shifter and the steering wheel. He can actually hold them properly, so that's a really, really nice feature. So yeah, this thing is just, it's absolutely fantastic. So let me go ahead and get it started, and then you guys will be able to see it and hear it, and hopefully I can actually record it for you guys in an appropriate way. Okay, so I've already got the battery installed. The battery goes right into this compartment, and I'm going to turn the car on. There's a switch on the bottom, and then I'm going to turn the app on so that we can do it. And I want you to listen, because the car makes all kinds of noises. As soon as you turn it on, it sounds like you're starting the engine, then you can hear the exhaust. And before you actually have it synced up or anything, these front lights over here will flash. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Okay, so now that the car is on and it's waiting for us, we're going to go ahead and make sure we're connected to the Batmobile via the Wi-Fi hotspot. It creates its own Wi-Fi hotspot, so you have to connect to that with your phone. And now I'm going to connect to it, and I'll focus on the camera so you guys can see, or on the phone so you guys can see what's happening. I'm going to show you all the features as best I can. I wish I could just screen grab the phone, but unfortunately I can't do it on this thing. It's kind of an old phone. Okay, so like I mentioned, it has a camera in the cockpit, and that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. Those are the window panes right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up so you can see a little bit better, just because it's not going to be easy. And you can see my studio light and my microphone right now, and there's a Batman figure. So you can see the camera in the car is actually really effective. It works really nicely. It's a surprisingly good camera. It has really wide angle, and it's just very clear, and it comes right through on your phone, so it looks like you're actually piloting the Batmobile. And so now we have some different features. Obviously we have the forward and back, and then the side to side, and you can adjust that to be a joystick instead if you want to do that. Okay, now one of the other cool things is you can press the button over here on the app, and it makes the main cannon lift up and down. And you can fire it with this button. It doesn't actually do anything on the real thing, but on the device it looks like it's firing. Okay, so we'll put that back down. These front missiles over here, they just turn with the wheels as you're steering it or whatever, but on the phone, when you fire them, so it's kind of like an augmented reality thing, so when you fire these on the phone, you'll see it kind of firing in the front there. So even though nothing's actually firing, it does have the sound effects and the visual cue on the screen. And then the last gun feature are these mini guns right up front, and they do turn with the wheels, but when you fire them using this, so I'll show you what it looks like on the phone first. It shows the guns firing and it makes the screen vibrate, but in real life what happens is the mini guns actually rotate. And that's just fantastic. I think that's so cool. So cool. Okay, and then the next feature we have is we have a button on here that turns, this button right here turns the lights on and off. So let's turn the car. You should be able to see them. Yeah, so you can see the white lights turning on and then the yellow lights. We'll turn them on and off so you can see. They're pretty bright. I know I have a lot of studio lights on right now, but they look pretty cool. And then the other lights are inside the cockpit, which you probably can't see. I'll take photos of this so you guys can see specifically. But it actually does light up the cockpit, which is very cool. You can see little speed gauges and computer screens and stuff like that. The next feature is, I'll show you on the phone first. We're going to hit this button right here, and that's going to put it into off-road mode. And so what that does is it lifts the whole vehicle up and down. I think this is, I can't get over how cool this thing is. It's just way too cool. Alright, and now I've saved the best for last. The best feature is the smoke feature. So we're going to try it with the harsh lights on right now, and we're going to see if it works. So this is the fill spot right here. You pour the liquid in, and then the smoke comes out of the back. We're going to zoom in so you can see it. And so on the phone, what you're going to do is you're going to hit this one that looks like a cloud, and it's going to make the smoke or the exhaust come out of the back of the car. And then you hit it again to turn it off. And that is just way too cool. Way too cool. I know it's not anything particularly new for people who are familiar with these things, but it is just, it's such a cool thing overall. So I'm going to show you how that looks with the lights off, and we'll pull it back just a little bit. That'll probably be good enough. So, I don't know if you guys could tell, it lights up and the smoke comes out, so let me do it this way. So we'll do it this way too, just so you guys can see. I told you this is going to be an awkward review. This thing's just massive, and I have to use my phone and the camera. I can't get over how cool that is. It's just way too cool. The next thing we have to talk about is the fact that it makes all the engine sounds accurate to how you're using it. So I'm going to lift it up so that the wheels spin on their own, but listen to the engine sounds. There's no braking sound. It will. So there, it does have the proper exhaust rasp. Like, so if you go fast and then stop, you get that kind of sound. And then if you go in reverse, the reverse doesn't sound quite as good, I'll be honest. But that does have different sounds for reverse. And then just so you can hear the forward sound again, you can make the engine. You can kind of rev the engine. And then one of the cool things is it actually shifts as you're driving. So hopefully you can hear the engine sound over the sound of the gearbox for the wheels. But I think it's pretty cool the way it sounds like an actual engine. So here we go. Okay guys, so the next feature I want to show you is just how the guns up front and the missiles actually rotate with the wheels, or how they actually turn with the wheels. So I'm just going to be turning it with the app, and you guys will see how they move. And then of course they do fire, the front ones. and they move. So that'll pretty much do it for all of the features, guys. Hopefully that worked out. I know it's kind of awkward to try to follow along with all the different sounds and things, but hopefully that worked out. One thing I want to point out is it is made fairly sturdy, but it is definitely a collectible. It doesn't have like independent suspension or any suspension at all other than the off-road mode. So you definitely aren't buying this to let your kid race it around outside, go down steps and things. No, definitely not. It's an adult collectible that happens to also have a really cool functional RC mode with the camera and the controls and everything like that. So that's cool. Definitely don't drive this around on rough surfaces or anything like that. You don't want to mess it up. I mean, the tires are okay for it. It's definitely doable, but I mean, I wouldn't want to pay this kind of money and then like have a kid drive it off a ramp or something because it's the Batmobile, which is awesome. I mean, that would be cool if you could, but I wouldn't do that. So we're going to leave it there. You can fit 6-inch scale figures, 1/12 scale figures in the cockpit. I'll show you that in the photos at the end. But that should do it, guys. So yeah, I mean, this thing's absolutely fantastic. It's easily worth the price point. I mean, if you look at the DC Collectibles animated series Batmobile, which is nothing compared to this, and it was basically half the price. This is easily double the vehicle. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's absolutely cool. So I think this is so awesome. Even if I had to buy it myself and they didn't send it to me, it would be very, very cool. So, I mean, I'm definitely recommending it 100% with the caveat that it is expensive and it's an adult collectible, so you're going to want to be careful with those features. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Thanks again to Mattel for sending it. Very pleased to look at it and to show you guys. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's just splendid. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures and movies and TV shows and video games and RC cars and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.